Good morning, good morning. We are gathering for coffee with Casper. Not quite there yet. Where are you? Okay. All righty. System's up and running. Here's the Casper. Got Mountain Dog over here. See the Mountain Dog? There's the Mountain Dog over there. Okay. YouTube is now live. There we go. Good deal. Here we go. We're going to see Facebook should be coming up here. There we are. We are live. Very good. Now you can come up, Casper boy. There we go. There's the Casper. Oh, you're going to knock the mics down. There we go. Good morning. We're gathering for coffee with Casper. We're glad you're joining us. Let me know where you are. Good morning from Palm Desert. All right. Good to see you this morning. Here's a good boy. Good morning from North Carolina. All right, Jeff, good to see you this morning. Good morning. Check it in. We're about to go with Coffee with Casper. About a minute to go before we gong ourselves in. Here we go. Let me know where you are. We're going to take 20 minutes to hang out. Good morning from Texas. Good morning from Boise. There we go. Good morning from Albuquerque. All right. Nice to see everybody this morning. Good morning from Arizona. Mountain and the human family. I'll tell you, Cam, you're becoming quite the philosopher's stone there. All right. Good. Aloha from Hawaii. All right. Good to see everybody. Very good. All right. Oh, there it is. It's 8:30. Let's gong ourselves in. Here we go. Everybody take a big, deep breath in. We're going to let out the sound ah. Ah. All right, one more time, and then just ride the vibrations of that gong. Big, deep breath in. Ah. Relaxing the shoulders and bringing your attention to your heart center. And we're just going to spend these 20 minutes together to see what we might do to be the avenue through which peace prevails on earth, and we finally get to the place where there's peace on earth and goodwill toward all humankind, and of course the earth itself. This is a time of transformation. The world is releasing obsolete patterns that have been around for eons. And you know, when patterns have been around for eons, they don't just change overnight. It requires, as Calvin Coolidge said, persistence and determination alone are going to be omnipresent. So if you saw the little poster, what we said is, okay, this is a path toward peace. Here's a path toward peace. And now, you and I are holding the light, and the light workers around the world are holding the light, not just everybody here. We're holding the light. We're holding the light of peace. We're holding the light of transformation. We're holding the light of rebirth, birthing forth this promised new age, this Aquarian age of shifting, where we really do see the heaven's first law, which is the law of harmony, must be, because eternality must be harmonious with itself if it's going to last forever. That's what makes it eternal. And so we agree with Judge Thomas Troward that harmony must be heaven's first law. And of course, humans have been making miscreations for eons of time, and releasing those obsolete patterns and letting them dissolve into the nothingness while we re-choose. We just came out of Holy Week. We just came out of the Easter idea, the idea of ascension. And of course, as we know, the universe is revealing itself to itself through itself, and that's that upward, forward spiral of evolution. And it looks very much like sort of like a tornado would look. It gets wider and wider. That funnel starts out at the very beginning and then grows out and continues to expand. And as it expands, the vista changes, meaning your consciousness changes. Remember that wonderful idea, hey, good morning from Eugene, Oregon. Good morning from Burbank. Good morning also. We got more than one Hawaiian. Aloha from the islands, and Central Oregon is with us. We're all over the place today. We're glad you're here today. As we go up that spiral, and as I started to say, you remember that idea? What if you took all the wisdom you had now and put it into your 18-year-old self? Right? wouldn't you see that your understanding as an 18-year-old would be radically different? Your perspective would be radically different. Just as it is, as you have matured and chosen to grow forward, chosen to say yes to the ever-changing reality of life, chosen to say yes to the fulfillment of whatever your soul's purpose is. I came from the light. I put on a coat of skins and I will return to the light, right? So you came with an intention, you came with a purpose. And reaching through the surface level, which is what you're looking at in the newspapers and on the news and on the television, you're looking through one lens and everybody's opinion is just one opinion. And it is not one opinion that makes the world, it is each one beginning to discover, beginning to meditate into, beginning to see through the mist by not being sucked out into the outer world affairs and remembering that you and I came here in order to discover the glory of our own existence, in order to discover the I am that I am, to discover that God birthed you as a divine idea to be in expression as itself. Whoa, it's mind-blowing. But so that's why we have to keep looking, oh, I'm just a human being. Oh, no. You are a magnificent soul. You are God's idea in form. You are the divine self of self recreated and brought forth. And when we get sucked into the world, when we begin to allow the conditions outside of ourselves to dominate our awareness, then we become fearful and we become numb and we lose our aliveness. And it was St. Ignatius, the Catholic saint, who said, the glory of God is a human being fully alive. So this is our, the wonderful poem from the philosopher Ernest Holmes. It says, this is our chance to see through the mist into the eternal and changeless reality. And once you see through that mist into the eternal and changeless reality, and you begin to live from your I am awareness, connected to your soul, consciously connected, by invitation connected, by persistence and determination connected to your I am nature, to your true and eternal nature, you begin to, we've been talking about here on Coffee with Casper, you begin to uplink. And the uplinked life is the life that you have intended to live, to bring your I am presence into this dimension that it may heal and uplift and inspire and dissolve everything unlike itself. And of course, here we are. We talked about last week that we do not create miracles. We make ourselves available for miracles. But if you and I as light workers look at the world situation and what we see is the prayer for peace it's the dominant thing right now. We must come to peace. Now, when you decide that I'm going to be an instrument and an avenue of peace, well, you know how sometimes when you make up your mind, everything unlike it seems to appear? Because what will happen is, according to the law of the circle, what's coming from you and returning to, aloha from Eureka! All right, nice to see you, Angelica Jane. What really begins to happen is once we see through the mist, once we begin to live from that place, we wouldn't want to go back. We wouldn't want to go back to the suffering. So according to the law of the circle, when we decide to be peace, everything within us that says, oh, you want to be peaceful, you want to be an avenue of peace, it's going to cause the law of attraction to bring to you everything that doesn't look like peace. And it's basically for the next 60 seconds, this will be a test of the emergency broadcast system. We're being asked, if you want to be peace, then you must clear out everything unlike peace within yourselves and within ourselves. Each individual must do that. And we do it the same way. We would do an invitation for greater love, greater joy, greater good. We want greater peace. And then so we look within ourselves and we become peaceful. And then something outside of ourselves says, oh, you're not so peaceful. And then again, now we're We're at that crossroads. Are we going to go into our lizard, fear or flight reaction? Or are we going to go into our soul nature's reaction, which is to look for the love, to look for the beauty, to look for the peace, to be an instrument of that peace, to be a place of kindness. As we've talked about here many times, and the Dalai Lama has for decades, he says, my religion is kindness, yes? So we must, right now, this is the critical time, while we are seeking to bring peace through the war in Ukraine. And it's not even a war, it's an attack. So how do we stop the aggression? And the answer is by working on any aggressiveness within ourselves. Doesn't that seem like, oh, well, that's just too easy? No, it's not. Have you noticed that to stay in tune, to stay enthusiastic, to be a place where life is appreciated, isn't always as easy as it sounds? We must continue to work within ourselves to bring up, to be the place, as Gandhi said, to be the change you'd like to see in the world. And this is where you and I as light workers can make a big difference, because the light that we are dealing with is infinitely more powerful than human miscreations. I am one with the light of all creation, the light of eternity, the light of love, the light of immaculate conception, the light of, I came from the light, and sure, yes, I have biological parents, but I won't move back into my mother's womb. I'm evolving forward. My mother was part of my evolution, as is my DNA, and as is all of my ancestors and relatives. They are all part and parcel of my moving forward in the spiral to understand who and what I am, that I am that I am. That I am that is love, the I am that is light, the I am that freed the Israelites, the I am that is the very presence of my divine nature, that is Buddha consciousness, that is Christ awareness, Christ consciousness itself. I am that. And to uncover that, to allow that holy gem, that glory of God, to be what your intention is, to reveal the glory of the self that I am, because God has ordained that I am. And God has ordained that I am an eternal and immortal being, that I will continue to evolve and forever and ever expanding into a greater understanding of myself and my relationship to the whole. Whoop, the birds are singing on that one, right? A greater understanding of myself and my relationship to the whole. This is what I'm doing. So when we look at a world disaster, which is a war breaking out in a nuclear armed world, this is just insanity. And you and I must bring it to our, don't put it under the rug, don't try to not see it, no. We have to stand in our compassion, understand that we have infinite compassion, that we can care for the horror of war that's happening in the Ukraine, that's happening on both sides, and it's being caused by egotistical archetypes that no longer will serve. These things that simply must be dissolved. When we recognize that everyone and everything is interrelated, interconnected, and I am one with the whole. If a clod is lost in Europe, then I am diminished. Do not seek to find out for who the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. We are the place where this transformation and the bringing forth of this kind of peace, this kind of infinite compassion. As some of you know, I had in 1999 the opportunity to spend a week with the Dalai Lama and other world leaders at his residence at the town of his residence, and we did get to go to his residence. But at the library, Tibetan library, we spent a week interacting with the Dalai Lama and all the Tibetan monks. And we were seeking to find out answers to the global problems. The answers, good morning, Abbas, wherever you're checking in from. Nice to hear from you. We must be the avenue through which this change happens. This is why we have the strength. This is why you've been doing your prayers and meditations, so that you know there is what Moses called the underlying arms, that you can lean back into those underlying arms and trust those underlying arms to guide you every step of the way. Be a lamp unto your feet, where to put your feet today, how to stand for peace today, how to open your heart with compassion today to the suffering in the world, to the needless violence in the world. It is time to quit reacting from this egotistical level and start acting from my understanding that everything and everyone is interrelated and interconnected according to the law of vibration. And if it's in your experience, it is correct. And now that it's in your experience, you must use your free will to choose how you're going to be in it. I chose and continue to be a place that stands for peace. And I have noticed that the law of vibration, the law of the circle, is bringing those challenges up to me. If somebody says something offensive to me, do I move into my animal nature, or do I find a place of peace and poise and balance, right? And if somebody interprets something you said as offensive and you didn't mean it as offensive, can you come to that place of understanding and shifting so that those kinds of feelings are not coming from you? And each one is not an opportunity to change somebody else. It's an opportunity to change ourselves. And this is the time for peace so I'm asking, I am Harry Morgan Moses, and I am asking you to join the light workers in the world and make a stand for peace in your personal world, in everything that is your personal world. Release the stresses, turn to your meditations, turn to your affirmations, dissolve your fear. You know, it doesn't mean you're going to make the fear go away. That's why Susan Jeffers years ago wrote that book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. But recognize that the place where you have control is to work with those things that are happening within you, your reaction to the events in the world, so that you become a light worker. You are already a light worker, but you become a light worker who's including peace and harmony, which must be heaven's first law, as your priority. It is okay for you to ask your I Am presence, show me the peace. Show me. Hi from Pakistan, Abbas. Nice to see you this morning. All right. Very cool. We're glad everybody's here together. We're glad we're all light workers. We're glad we all know that we can make a difference in the world by the position that we take within our own awareness, which would be our own consciousness. When we begin to know that it is consciousness that creates the experience, it is not reaction. Reaction begets more reaction. Consciousness is a starting point. So when you calm yourself through your meditations in the morning to find that peace at the center of your being, and then you make a choice today to be an instrument of kindness, to be an instrument of indeed love. And some people are afraid of the word love. Well, you can love without having to use the word love. And love does not have to mean, some people like to hug, some people don't like to hug, some people are still concerned about the virus. There's a way for you to be a lover in the world without, it's not about romance. It's about cosmic love, about the energies that are coming from you. And can you align with your I am, and you can you align with your I am consciousness and bring that love in a universal way? We've talked about this before in the Aramaic, Rachma love and Kuba love. Universal Rachma love is the kind of love that I can display and carry everywhere. And this is up to you and me to be an instrument and an avenue through which these vibrations, just like when we hit the gong, you can feel, you can hear the vibrations. We're each one creating vibrations that are coming from the sum total of our awareness. Everything I think, say, feel, and do. And is that vibration right now in a world that needs peace? Peace, peace, peace. We need to transcend this violence because it's too dangerous for all humanity and the earth. We must transcend it and come to a place of peace, that humans are one candle of peace, touching other candles of peace, touching other candles of peace, and bringing the light of peace, the way of peace, the Tao of peace into the consciousness of humanity. Not in any one state or nation, not among any race, color, or creed, but among all people. Each and every one is the anointed one, revealing itself to itself, functioning through the law of the circle, or the law of mind, or the law of creation, but it's what's coming from me is coming back to me as my experience, and teaching me, guiding me, and asking me, what would you like to become now? Do you see it? Do you see it? What would you like to become now? I'm Harry Morgan Moses. This is Coffee with Casper. This is your practice this week. How can I be an instrument and avenue of peace? If anything we've talked about during these 20 minutes has been valuable, all we ask you to do is share it. Share it on your LinkedIn, share it on your YouTube, go to your likes, go to your groups, share it. We must become the peace workers that bring forth peace on and in earth and goodwill toward all humanity and the earth. This is our time to bring our light forward in our awareness that we become this transformation. This is Coffee with Casper. Who you are is something magnificent. And until we meet again, we invite you to go in the light, as the light, with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. We'll be back next week with Coffee with Casper. Tell a friend, and we'll see you here. Come on up, Coffee, Casper. Say goodbye. Come on, good boy. Come on up. Atta boy. There he is, right there. Come on, all the way up. Come on, get there. Where's your friends? There they are. Where's everybody? There they are. Whoop, 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 whoop. There they are. Okay. Say bye. See you next week. See you next week. Bye. Good